Hello, how are you guys doing? Well, today is going to be hopefully a quick video. It's going to be like two videos, maybe even three in one, because I need to starting a new journal for myself, and I think this is just going to be from a writing journal more than a tags and all that kind of stuff. Although that could be added later. Um, but I'm going to make a journal for ideas and stuff, so I can jot down ideas, whatever, kind of like a random journal, but also more focused than random. So I'm going to use this cover that I got at the flea market, this book, and I still have the inside of it. And this book is from 1943, and I'm going to keep all this because I will add that into the journal later. But the main reason, besides starting a new journal, is my friend, a fellow Scrappy 8, Kristin, had asked how I do the collage decollage. So I'm going to do that on the cover, and so that's the main focus. And then I figured, well, while I'm doing that, I might as well start my journal, my ideas journal, also at the same time. So we're doing collage decollage on the cover, and in the same token, I'm making a journal. So I'll do later, I'll do the signatures and all that kind of stuff as we go. So my first step, before I do the collage decollage, as you can see, this journal is starting to tear up here. And I want to keep this all intact because I want to keep the original. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to line it with some rust material that was gifted to me by Michelle, and you guys know her, and also another Scrappy 8 member. And she sent me this, so I'm going to use this on the inside. And as you see, it doesn't cover it up. So I'm going to put this one in the middle, and I'm going to cut this part strategically to fit here and here. But that'll kind of reinforce this piece here is my main focus, because I don't want, when I do the collage decollage, I don't want that to tear up. So I'm just going to cut it to size, and then I'm going to glue it in on this side, and then I'll begin the decollage on the cover. And I'm going to keep Brenda, but I'm going to cover up the rest. I'll probably cover this up with the collage just to reinforce it. Also, it'll make it stronger. But when I do the sanding, I'll try not to sand too hard on this part, just on these parts. Okay, so hang tight, and I'll start doing that. Okay, you guys. So I am back, and we are going. Now, what I did was I just put like a layer with a brayer of orange paint. First, I sanded my cover, and then I just put a very thin layer of orange paint. I'm hoping that it will help with the glue because the cover was very glossy, and it seemed like nothing would stick to it. So, and I've also covered up my name with just some Scotch tape, just so I can keep that available later. I had already glued down my fabric, just using this Fabric Fusion. So that's done. So now we're going to start the collage decollage, which all it is you're just gluing down papers, and then you let it dry, and then you peel off whatever you can, and then you glue down more papers, or you put down paint, or you might decide to sand that layer. Totally up to you. There's no rules. It's just gluing down papers using all different kinds of glues. I have stick glue, I have my glitter glue, I have matte medium, I have regular glue, I have this Fabric Fusion I can use. So just use whatever glues. You can mix and match, do whatever. And then we'll just put down one layer right now. And then we're going to let it dry completely, and then peel up whatever comes up. So if you kind of want to do it, like I would recommend, like let's just grab a piece of this. I don't want no straight edges, so just do that. All right, so if I'm going to glue this down, then I would just, let's say I'm going to use let's just use a stick glue. I don't know if stick glue is going to work that good on here, so the whole thing may peel up later. I'm not sure, but I'm just going to do this. I just put it haphazardly maybe just in the middle, like the edges are not going to be glued down, right? And then later, when it's dry and I come, theoretically, the part that has the glue should stay down and the rest will peel off the edges, okay? But again, this cover may not be that great to glue stuff on. I don't know. When I did my art piece, see, I don't know if I can take this off the wall. I don't think so because I used the, let me just grab the camera and try not to get you guys too dizzy. But this piece, all right, you guys remember that? So when I did this piece, this is on MDF. So it was, it stayed a lot easier. It was a lot easier to glue because the MDF was smooth and I was able to glue and it stuck. Okay, this has, it does have texture, which should help, but it also means that air can get underneath in all those little crevices and stuff and not glue, and then it may not stick as well. All right, so whatever you're working on, you just got to be patient and know that it may not work the way you want it to. All right, and then you probably just find out which glue you think works the best and just stick to that. You can just use one type of glue. It doesn't have to be all these different types. I'm just doing it now just to show you guys. Okay, so let's glue this down. All right, let's put some of that. And then you can just work in sections too. You don't have to cover the whole thing in one layer. You can just do a few here and there. Let it dry. Let's see. Let's do this. Okay. And I'm going to try not to put glue on top of it like I normally would because I'm not trying to make a masterboard or anything like that, because I do plan on peeling some of this up. If you get glue on top, that's okay. Like I said, there's no real rule. There's no real rules to it. It's just the point is you're putting down one layer of papers with glue, whichever glues you want to use, all of them, one, whatever, and then you let that dry. Okay, so we're going to let this dry. Might as well stick that on there. And then we're going to come back and we're going to peel off, but I'm going to put a few more things down. Let's see. Let's put some of this over here. I probably should have had my paper more ready over here, but I didn't. All right, let's put some of this on there. It's kind of like a deli paper. And actually what I should have done, because this is going to be my base layer, is I should have just used more of like kind of plain, because it's going to eventually get covered up, but that's okay. Again, take my own advice. There are no rules to this, right? Just do whatever. All right, so I'm just going to put there. Let's put something across this. I really like this. I'm going to save that for later. Let's put something on the spine. I have this weird piece here. Let's use this glue. Oi. Oh, didn't want that much. All right, let's go put some back in there. All right. And see how I'm just like, whatever. Just glue it. I don't know what's going to stick. Don't care. Put that there. Wonder if there's that glue over here still sticks. I don't know. It's shiny, but that doesn't mean it's sticky. All right. You know what? I'm going to stop here. Oh, there's still a little bit of wet over there. It's, all right. Well, no, see, that didn't even stick at all. All right, let's just let this dry. Just what I have here right now. Here, I'll just put the rest of this glue that I have on there, down there. Just let this dry, and then we'll come back and we'll see what sticks and what doesn't. All right. And then we'll go from there. So again, collage means you just glue down your pieces, and then you let it dry, you peel up whatever's going to come up, and then you glue down another layer. Or you can add paint, or you can sand it, all those things. All right. But for now, we're just going to let this dry, and then we're going to come right back. All right. Let's see how we can peel this up. Let me turn this light back on. I am recharging the one that Kristin got me that I was talking about earlier on Trash Talk. All right, so the way I recommend is not just flipping up, because you're going to probably peel the whole thing off if you do that. So what I like to do is just kind of grab it and see how, like this one, and then just kind of help it along like that. And if you do gel prints, you're going to get this a lot, because it always seems to take, like they always separate the gel print from the paper itself in the back. But you can always glue this back down on the next layer. All right, let's see. Let's see, that one worked out pretty good. Yeah, so that piece worked out pretty good. Let's do this one. Another gel print. Yeah, see. I don't know if there's any way to just keep the gel print on top. All right. But like I said, ooh, look, that's taken off the whole cover. What glue is that? What did I glue that one with? That was stick glue. Oh, this was glitter glue, I think. Glitter glue is taking off the whole cover. I think. Yeah, it did. Took off the whole cover. But you know what? I kind of like that. I like that. That was the glitter glue. Okay, so the glitter glue is kind of strong on this cover. And trying to not take off all the color here. Yeah, see, stick glue. I knew the stick glue wasn't going to really work that well, though. I kind of had a feeling. That part did stay on kind of good, though. It's taking off some of the... Yeah, that didn't work. Whatever glue that one was. Yeah, I think it's just because of this cover, too. This cover is not... this seems to be on there pretty good. All right. Let's grab that little piece right there. All right. This is what you kind of want. I noticed the thinner paper. This was deli paper. Deli paper stuck really well on there. So if you have a thicker paper, you're going to probably leave the bottom layer, and then the top painted layer will come off. But that's okay, because we'll just glue it back down. Now I know the stick glue doesn't really work, so we're not going to use that anymore. This was this, so that works pretty good. And I think my matte medium is working pretty good. And then this was kind of strong. It took off the whole thing, even though I like that look. It's going to be covered up eventually. But so I'm just, you know what, I'm just going to use, for now, let's just do some fabric fusion. And I'm going to take these bits that came off, and I'm going to put them back on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put some glue down. still feels kind of thick. I don't think this one will work. I don't think I can take that off. All right, some glue down. Let's see if we can stick that back down. That back down. Now I'm going to do, I'm just going to focus on this side right now. Just put a few layers down. Oop, oh no. Jeez Louise. Okay, after I'm going to let this dry, I'm going to, when I peel up the next one, I'm going to add a layer of paint, just so you can see that. So, like I said, I think thinner paper is going to work better than thicker. And glue-wise, I've never had any luck with the stick glue, at least not on the substrates that I've started them on. I think maybe if you use different. All right, let's just let this dry. Any other little bits and pieces I could put on there? Oh, I forgot. This is probably a good glue too. Let's try this one down here in the corner. That's right, because I did use it over here. I remember I had accidentally, like this, put too much on there. Let's take some of that off. Okay, let's do this and try to put some more pieces down here. See what happens. There. It's kind of thick. I'm going to try to stick with some of this thinner paper right now. All right, I know it looks like a mess here, Kristin, but let's just let that dry now. And I might resort back to my matte medium, which I love. But I do want to try the things. So, okay, let's let this dry now. Just this area over here. And then we'll see what happens. All right, guys, now let's start peeling some of this off again and see how it goes. All right. And then this time I'm not going to peel too hard. I'm just going to peel off any pieces that are kind of like sticking up. I'm not going to peel up. I'm just peeling, like, see how this is kind of sticking up? Go like that. Because I'm going to sand after this. And so the sanding will, I think, kind of help. And I'm trying not to get all the color taken off, but it's not working. You know, that's, oops. You see how that peeled up, and you can see the layer underneath. That's cool. All right. And that didn't stay at all. That's okay. It's okay. Don't panic. All right. Now, usually, oh, there's a good piece right there. Usually I'll use, have an electric hand sander outside, but because this book cover is already kind of thin and kind of weak, I don't want to tear it up too much. So I'm going to try my sponge sander that I have here. These, let me go get a new one though. These need to be rinsed out. They're kind of built up. So hold on a second. Let me get another one, a new one. All right, so I got the 60 grit, which is kind of rough. I'm going to do over here first. Let's see what it does. See? Okay, now we'll do it here. And I don't mind it taking off some of the color, because again, we can put paint on it and another layer. So I just want to kind of smooth it out. And if some of this comes up and you're seeing the layer underneath, that's okay. Yeah, and I hope you guys have I think just my book cover is just not, it's just not going to hold down. See? But I'm going to keep going. I am not giving up. Actually, my next layer will be paint. And then remember, this was this glue. That seems to be holding okay. Down in this corner was this glue. So I won't use that again either. And I think I'm going to start using the matte medium. See how this looks here? That's cool. I like the way that looks. That's kind of what I want to achieve all over. And even this here. And that feels pretty smooth. Just feeling over the hand. All right, I got most of the loose pieces up. That's on the edge right there. Okay, let's clean that off. Oops. Over by the trash. Ooh, it's quite messy. That's why I usually sand outside, because even my phone is getting a layer. Oh, I gotta be careful right there. Let's see if I can glue that down. Getting a layer of dust on it. Let's glue all this down. Okay. All right, I'm gonna do and right now I'm just focusing on the back cover for now. So I'm gonna put a layer of paint. Let's see. I like using my brayer. And should I do orange or what color? Blue? Oh. What color? Red? Oh, a red would look nice on there. Let's see. What reds do I have? I'm not a big fan of red, but burgundy. Maybe a burgundy. Look nice. So we're going to put down some paint, let it dry, and then we're going to put down more collage. So I may speed up the film going forward because we've already spent a lot of time in real time. But as you know, I'm just going to, from now on, I'm just going to use this matte medium glue. I might use some of this too. I think it's been doing okay. But I'm going to do paint, let it dry, and then I'm going to glue down some more papers, let it dry, then I'll peel up, sand it, go from there. But you'll see everything. It'll just be kind of forwarded. But this is the collage, decollage process because you're collaging stuff on and then you're peeling it back up. Okay, so I'm going to start doing that, and I'm not going to really talk anymore unless there's something crucial that I need to add. Okay. Okay, so I gave it a good sanding, and I just want to show you what the collage du collage is supposed to do. So you are supposed to get like these. See how it looks kind of worn? This is what we want. We want it to look like this. I am going to see like where it comes off on the edges. This looks good, even with all the frustration of the glue not sticking. This is turning out pretty good. I think it's getting easier now because now I'm gluing the papers on top of paper, and so it's sticking a little bit better than when I was trying to just glue it onto the cover itself. So as you build your layers, it does get easier, I want to say, and more to your liking, I'm sure. So don't give up. Just keep going, and you can build on as many layers as you want, as long as you're not like making it like an inch thick with layers. That might not work, but you know what I mean. So just for today's video's sake, I'm going to stop here, even though I would probably still add more paint and more layers. And I am still going to do the front part of the cover, but on the video, I'm just going to stop here. And then my next thing to do would be like maybe to add some ink across the top as a grunge factor, or to push it back a little bit. And that could be any color you want. If you are into bright neon colors, you could do it with neon. You guys already know me well enough to know I'm going to use either brown, black, or a terracotta type color, or all three. But I'm just going to rub a ink pad across the back cover, and then I will put a layer of matte medium over it once I'm done, just to kind of seal it all inside. I might actually use the glossy Mod Podge. I'm not sure yet, because that kind of brings out more contrast. It kind of deepens the colors a little bit. Like if you don't, let me get my little one out here. So this one, I don't know if you can see, well, this is just the matte medium on there. But if I were to use like a glossy Mod Podge, this would look a little bit richer, I believe. It would just kind of make it look a little bit richer. But this looks good though. I mean, I like it so far. I still got to put the pipes on that one. But for this sake right now, I'm just going to put some inks over it. Maybe, I could even spray it with coffee, add some infusion colors, whatever. I'm just going to do that. This is just the cover of my journal, so I'm not going to add too much like modeling paste or anything like that. And then we're going to call that a day, just for video's sake. And then later I'm going to do the rest of the cover, and then I'll share that with you at a later date. So let's see. Let's take, this might be kind of dark. Well, we can do dark. Let's go around the edges. See, and there's some where the cover's still peeking out. That's okay. That's quite all right. You don't have to cover the whole thing that you're working on, unless you want to. Unless that's your goal, then of course cover it by all means. But this looks almost black, doesn't it? Let me just use my brown thing here. I just kind of blend it a little bit. Yeah, it's coming up, but I'm just gonna glue that back down. Some matte medium. Okay. And let's see. I think I'm just gonna add a lighter brown. I don't want to use distress, because if I do a layer matte medium, it's gonna be kind of runny, or it's gonna change. So I kind of want to use like permanent ink. Let me try this one. I don't even know if this is permanent or not, but it's tree bark. I just want something that's not too wet. That's going to make it too dark. Yeah, that's good. I think I need to add some more to this. Not coming on too much at all. Okay, that didn't work. I have a filler that I could just put on here. What brand is this? Oh, Archival ink. Archival ink. So I'll just add some to that later, but I'm not going to do that right now because I don't want it too dark. But see how that's getting brown around the edges? That's kind of what I'm looking for. Right there. And like I said, I'm not done with this cover. I'm also thinking of adding a selfie of myself, this one, to the cover. Probably on the spine, maybe, like that. Because it's kind of big to fit. I don't really want me on the front, but I think I might just add it to the spine. I'm just going to fill the rest up first. All right, so see what difference that makes? Kind of pushes that back, takes some of that white off of there. And actually can see some of the texture coming through from the cover. Okay. And then let's go ahead and add, should we add a little bit of color to it? Let me see. I don't know what this beach cruiser, let's just put a little bit down here. See what happens. Well, it doesn't look bad around the edges. All right. A little bit of blue around the edges. What do you think? Should I add some more in there? Have it kind of creep in a little bit. Yeah, I need to glue that down. There we go. All right. I'm going to call that a day. I'm going to put on, let's put on the, go ahead and put on the layer of matte medium. I'm going to make sure it's dry first. And it's starting to get hot in here. Hold on. Oh, my microphone. I did that once. I threw my shirt over onto the couch and my microphone was on there and I didn't realize it until I did the video and I couldn't hear myself. Okay, so let's add a little bit of this. I'll clean off my brush just to protect it some for now. And I still might add another layer as I do this. I don't know, but I will share with you guys the end result once I'm done with the cover. Because remember, I'm making a journal, so this is all part of the process. Under there. A little bit too much on there, but that's okay. Do is just grab a napkin and clean it off. I clean my brush water over there. I can smell it. It's starting to smell like a pond. That's not good. All right, let me just that a little bit. This also helps get rid of some of those lines in there. You don't want it to look like you have brush strokes on there. Use a paper towel. Okay. All right, so we'll let that dry and we are done with the back cover. So Kristin, I hope this video is everything you wanted it to be. I apologize if it is not. But just goes to show you that even though sometimes processes can be frustrating and annoying, you know, like when stuff doesn't stick, you just persevere. You just keep going, and eventually you'll get to where you want to be, and you learn as you go. So I think with me, is just the cover itself was hard to get anything to stick to it at first, but then as we did the layers, it got a little easier. So remember, collage, decollage is just you do a collage using whatever glues you have, whatever papers you have. Although thinner paper seems to work a little bit better. And stick glue doesn't work that well on this substrate. It probably works on paper. Perfect. Okay, so if you're just doing a collage, decollage on one of your pages in your junk journal, stick glue will probably work just fine. But anyway, so collage, and then you let it dry, and then you peel off any loose ends. And then at that point, you decide, do I want to do another layer of collage, which I would probably do 2 layers of collage, and then again, decollage by peeling off. And then you're at that third step, Then you want to decide, do I want to add a layer of paint? Do I want to sand it? Probably sand it and then add a layer of paint. Let that dry. Add another layer of papers. Let that dry. Peel up. And then again, sand. And then again, make the decision of what your next step is going to be. All right. So I really appreciate you guys joining me here today for this. We're going to have a journey making a journal. And my next video will be also for Kristin is she asked how I make my grit paste, which I used on, in case you guys don't know, she's talking about this one here that I used for my wall, my bricks on this cover. So I'll show you that on my next video, and then we'll go from there. Okay. So again, thanks for joining me today. You guys have a great rest of your day. I really appreciate every single one of you being here. I love when you guys comment. I love to banter. I love to make jokes and just have a good time. So feel free to leave a comment. It doesn't even have to be related to this. I welcome feedback. I welcome criticism. All that stuff is this is a safe zone. So you can say whatever you want. If you have ideas, whatever, I take them. I welcome ideas. I welcome feedback. All right. So I'll see you guys on the next video. And with that, I will say tschüss.